the qualifying final. The winner through to play YCW next Saturday in the second semi-final as Wiley goes up in the ruck. Mannix a quick kick forward for Edithvale towards half forward. Leading out but not taking the ball. Now a chance, a hand pass over the top. Good tackle applied there by Bonbeach through the agency there of... Might have been better. The umpire says I'm going to call for a ball up. At 55 metres out from the Edithvale goal. We'll go to the car straight into the ground in the first quarter. Is a quick kick inside attacking 50 there by Maguire. It was Elliot Maguire inside attacking 50. Good tackle, good pressure there by Edithvale, and looks like Hayes is wearing number 3 out there. So we had him as 6 down on the book, but
as the website did as well.
But look, he will be wearing number 3.
And Dennis Lane is in 16 for the Sharks.
Interesting. Look how high Dennis Lane is early in the game.
Quick kick from Mannix back towards the top of the goal square. That was Tim Mannix, and it goes away and over the boundary line for a throw-in. About 15 metres around, possibly 20 from the behind post.
You said the wind's changed a bit from yesterday, Dunny?
Yep, blowing down that end now. Yeah, yesterday it was pretty blowing down the opposite end. Yesterday it was pretty powerful, wasn't it?
Head over the football from Cleary. He's not coming out of there. And another ball up will be the result. So, scoring opportunity first up for the Sharks. Jumping over the top was Wiley. He won the tap down for the Eagles. Quick ball out the back. Mannix toe pokes it forward. Gathered now. It came to Hayes, dispossessed. Picked up by Dennis Lane, who just throws it on the boot, sends it out towards the wing. It'll come back through Ray. Good chase from Trowell, ran him down. Just got a kick away in time, did Ray. And he found the boundary line on the out of half-forward flank for Edithvale-Aspendale.
Do these conditions suit one side or the other, do you think, Danny?
I think they suit Edithvale, as I said, with Bonbeach handball game probably coming out of it. But it's quite interesting the way they've all set up here. Bonbeach are quite happy to play Trent Dennis Lane high around the stoppages.
Good tackle applied, and the umpire says I'm going to ball it up, and that tackle was applied by Jack Williams for Bonbeach. So ball it right half forward here for Edithvale. Brian Mace grandstand side of the ground as the two ruckmen go at it again. Quick kick forward there by Neville. A high kick towards attacking 50. No mark taken. Edithvale the chance to win out. Got to go backwards to go forwards. Quick kick but slid onto his backside there as he tried to get rid of it. Inside attacking 50. Still a scoring opportunity here for Edithvale. They want a free kick and the umpire says no. Ball 25-30 metres out from the Edithvale goal, cast straight into the ground.
Early doors at Tyab. Hastings have the first goal, 1 straight 6. Red Hill 1 behind. Essendon lead Fremantle by 20 at half-time at Etihad Stadium. Out of the contest and then straight back in. Was that a push in the back? The umpire is on the opposite side of the contest to it and says no.
And we will be talking to Lockie Kelly as well from Tyab throughout the afternoon as well.
So 1 down by Jones as far as McDonald, who threw it on the boot, back out to half-back, almost the mark to Carlon. He got dispossessed. Ball towards the wing now. Good play here from the Sharks, and it's with Nick Waterston. Thought about going long, then decided to go short instead. He's on the 1-2 and a little bit of a fumble after receiving from Vassallo. Picked up now by Turner for the Eagles. Threw it on the boot back towards centre wing. Murnane couldn't take the mark. Just got a hand in there, I think, McMahon, and saw it over the line for a throw-in.
Any matchups you've sort of detected, Danny?
I think Mark Mullins is going to settle on Trent Dennis Lane.
Is that a good matchup for Edithvale, you think?
Yeah, I think it is. Mullins is a quality defender.
Umpire calls for a ball up. Centre wing. Very damp centre wing here. Very sticky centre wing.
Someone's not too happy down at ground level, Vossi.
Jones gets the ball down towards McDonald, and you don't give Shane McDonald 10 metres, which is what he had there. A kick towards centre half forward. Going up but not taking the mark. Trowell couldn't pick up the ball. Still an opportunity here for Bonbeach inside their attacking 50. They dive in small package like in wrestling, and the umpire says, I'm going to, I think he said ball up. It is a ball up. And 40 metres out from the Bonbeach goal, going to the beach end of the ground in the opening quarter as the umpire throws it up. Hewlett gets it down. Quick kick by Hewlett off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the full. So Edithvale are clear from full back. We've played 5 minutes in the opening quarter. Both sides yet to score. And we should, obviously Telstra. Telstra is a sponsor. We've also got David Bark. We've got Aftercare Australia. We've got O'Brien Real Estate. So we've got some good sponsors on board this afternoon. In fact, that was touched off the boot, was it?
Must have been called that way because it was certainly landing over the fence. So a scoring opportunity for Bonbeach. Vassallo can't keep it in. It goes straight back over the line from the tap down by Wiley.
I thought that was a clear out in the full, Dunny.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
It certainly looked that way.
Bluey's a lot closer to Macca here in these forward stoppages.
Bit choppy in this area. It's going to be thumped straight back over the line again. Quite happy just to take a little bit of heat out of this one, the Eagles at the moment. It was Wiley in the ruck, wearing the beard today.
By my count, this is the 12th stoppage of the game, so it's going to be a real contest.
Wiley won it a second time. Diving in there was Hewlett. He was wrapped up in the tackle by Elliot McGuire. And that'll be stoppage number 13 for you, Danny.
I think this is the way Edithvale are going to want it.
Both sides having one win on each other this year, as we spoke about in the pre-match. So big opportunity for both sides to get into a second semi-final. The short route into a grand final is beckoning for one of these two sides next Saturday. Shane McDonald sees that ball over the line for a boundary throw-in. So inside attacking 50 here for Bonbeach. Right half forward, flank between half forward and forward pocket, 40 metres out from goal. Taken there by Waterston, a quick kick. Dennis Lane around the corner, goes the ball towards the top of the goal square. Good pressure there by Bennett just to tie the Edithvale defence up there. I think it might have been Maguire he tied up, Angus, on that occasion, and the umpire says ball it up 20 metres out from goal directly in front.
So Hewlett steps over the top, won the tap. Trowell couldn't trap it. Oh, good smother on the kick from Ray. Still gives them a chance. McDonald couldn't gather. Ray bumped him and saw it back over the line for another boundary throw-in. Very stop-start at the moment. Hastings also have the second goal over at Bunguian Reserve. They lead 2 goals to a behind against Red Hill in the Nepean League. An elimination final, I believe that one is, Fossey.
Third year in a row they've played in an elimination final, Johnny.
It certainly didn't worry Hastings last year as they went all the way to the cup. Quick kick out of the contest. It's going to come straight back in. Little kick. Oh, Tim Mannix just got a hand in there. Chance for Williams. He couldn't gather it cleanly. Now it came to Hayes, who threw it on the boot. Not going out of the zone. Tyrrell gave the hand pass off to Casey. Hooked back in by Vassallo. Chance for Bonbeach. Hewlett fed the hand pass out. Up and under kick came from Williams. It's not 15. Hayes threw it on the boot. Camp behind the ball. Flying shot goes across the face from Casey. And it'll be safely marked in the back pocket. Oh, trouble here. The kick was smothered. Still a chance. Williams caught. Tim Mannix tries to go through. He was forced to hand pass. McDonald picks that one off. Flies onto the left boot. A little bit more class. Almost got to the line. And it was desperate work by Carlon on the last line of defence to thump it through for a behind.
Just didn't get the connection he was looking for there, Dunny.
No, they're looking dangerous here at the minute. And obviously, Edithvale is sitting a couple back behind the footy while they're attacking, and it's probably going to cost them.
There's an opportunity. A shot at goal. It's just off target. It was touched off the boot, and they knew it too. Waterson got the hand pass off to Casey, who had the running shot at goal and missed from 40. So Bonbeach are 2 behinds, 2 points, and Edithvale are yet to score. We've played 9 minutes in the opening quarter here of the qualifying final. There's been a bit of a push and shove there at half back.
I think 4 there is Bo Bailey. He's a kid that's played at Sandringham a bit. He's had a really good start to the game.
So that's a late inclusion.
Yep.
Bailey, he wasn't selected. And so he's played 4 games for Sandringham and kicked a goal in each of the first 3. So certainly, and he was a quality player last year as a 15 or 16-year-old. He's got it again now. Beautiful hand pass across to Gil Renoff. He kicks up towards half forward, camped under the ball and taking a safe mark for the Eagles. Is that the other Mannix, Steve?
I don't think it is, actually.
Toddy Woodbridge.
Apologies, he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. He probably wishes it was Steve Mannix. So Bailey will get the free kick for the Sharks.
Yeah, good little player, this kid, and got to the stage where he was even training for the I think the Interleague subs at last year or this year as well. So John Hines saw a bit in him as well when he first saw him and promoted him into that opportunity. As a quick kick by Ray is going to be, basically it's a toe poke, it's a free kick to Bonbeach at 50. Inside and a quick kick, and the mark has been taken in the glue pot about 30 metres out from goal.
Dennis Lane.
And it is TDL, the man who played, I think it's something like 28 or 29 AFL games.
Is that all? I would have thought he played quite a few more than that for the Swans and St Kilda.
I would have thought that myself actually, but I think it's.
I'll find that out for you.
I think you're right. Yeah. This is by my count inside 50 number 8, and we know Edithvale had the first 2 inside 50s and had the ball in there for a while, so Bonbeach have done really well.
Dennis Lane the shot, and the first goal of the game is Bonbeach's. They are 1-2-8. Edithvale are yet to score. We've played 11 minutes in the opening quarter. You're listening to RPP, the voice of Peninsula football.
David Bark Appliances in Rosebud, where top brands cost you less. Giving 27 years of trusted local service. David Bark Appliances, more local than the footy. Check the David Bark website, 1263 Boynton Nepean Road, Rosebud, 598655.
So, just bringing up Trent Dennis Lane's career stats to see what he did at AFL level. Of course, he was at Sandringham last year. Before crossing down to Bonbeach this season. 62 goals for the season now, so he's been a fantastic pickup for the Sharks.
So here's an interesting one. They've had a ruck change and Dylan Jones has gone to full forward, so that'll be a really tough matchup for Edithvale.
The young man Tom Hogan in the ruck. He made an impressive debut on this day, an elimination final day last year. Kicked a couple of goals. Kick inside forward 50. Chance here for the Eagles. Quick kick from Greenwood. Will tumble across the face and go out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. You're exactly right, Vossi. I shouldn't question you. 29 games for Trent Dennis Lane in his AFL career. Famously kicked those 4 goals in an elimination final for the Swans to beat Carlton.
He's down at half back at the moment too.
Out of the contest, working towards the line. Desperation from Hayes off the ground from Tag. It was luckily well read by the Bonbeach defence, who just got a hand on it and saw it through for a behind. First score for Edithvale-Aspendale. They are 1 behind. Bonbeach 1-2-8 after 12 and a half minutes.
He's pushed really high every time they've gone inside 50, that's good to see him on his bike. He'll be really dangerous running around the ground, Trent. He did that against us at Chelsea and really got our guys chasing him hard.
Yeah, 19 games, 30 goals for Sydney, 10 games, 9 goals for St Kilda. Edithvale-Aspendale will go forward again, and it's in the hands of Tag on the 50. Swings around onto the right boot, goes low and flat, looking for Meehan, but it was well read by Flannery, and he takes the mark for Bonbeach. Not a good kick, puts the pressure on. Angus Maguire manages to get involved and saw it over for a throw-in.
Yes, inside attacking 50 for Edithvale-Aspendale. 14 minutes played in the opening quarter. Bonbeach 1-2-8, Edithvale 1 behind. Boundary umpire throws the ball back in. And Edithvale getting the ball down and an opportunity in the pocket. A quick kick at goal. And that is their first goal. And I'm just trying to...
Elliot Maguire.
It was Maguire who put through the first goal. It didn't look that great off the boot. The crowd were a bit quiet, but Maguire went up and the umpire said, I agree with you, it's a goal. And Edithvale had their first goal, and that came from one more stoppage.
One more stoppage, and a really good stoppage for Edithvale. So, yeah, very, very good young player, Elliot Maguire.
Hastings 3-1-19, lead Red Hill 1 behind early doors in the Nepean League elimination final.
Straight off the ground after the goal.
Seem to do that a lot these days, don't they?
Did you do that, Danny?
I would never come off the ground if I kicked the goal.
Did you do it as coach, though?
No, not really, unless it's a planned rotation. No, I don't.
You got momentum. Run with it.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. Ball towards half forward for the Eagles. Quick kick out of the pack. It's going to come straight back in. Well, he might have made a mess of it, Angus Maguire. Put himself under all sorts of pressure. Dennis Lane, good desperation by the big man in Wiley. Tapped it forward to the 50. Mannix over top of the football. Eagles supporters wanted a free kick for a push. Umpire said, give it to me. The umpires today, Josh Shields, Jack Cannon and Dean Armstrong, 2 of which did that elimination final last year, Vossi, between these 2 teams.
Oh, great again.
there's a bit of a coincidence. Inside attacking 50. Edithvale trying to get another score on the board. They still might have the opportunity. Not the hand pass had no penetration there, and it's been picked up there for Bonbeach by Carpenter. It went towards halfback, wasn't the greatest of kicks. Still an opportunity there. Maguire, a good tackle. Elliott it was who slung his opponent to the ground there to make sure he did not go anywhere, and the ball is locked up. Right half forward flank here for Edithvale. 1 point the margin, 16 minutes played nearly in the first quarter of the elimination final. Here's an opportunity on the right foot and a kick, a goal! And that is a goal, and that is a goal kicked by the man himself in Michael Buzzy.
Yep. Now that's a great goal for a big fella. Like, he sat off the stoppage, got a handball, and now he's kicked a running goal off half forward and goes straight into the ruck.
The record says he's 200 centimetres and he ran like a rover.
Yeah, he's a super talent, this guy. Wait till you see him jump for him in the air. That's a really good goal running off half forward. And the good thing was he sat off that stoppage probably as the resting ruckman and then run and receive goal.
And he's in the centre circle now, competing against the youngster in Hogan, and he won the tap down. Panics at the base of the pack as always, tapped it forward, picked up on the half-back line by Sol. Dangerous handball, they're swarming now. Here's Maguire, that's Elliott, slipped at the wrong stage. Lucky to get a high tackle. Quick hand pass came out, flying shot from Van Dyke, and it's through for another one. And a quick rally from Edithvale-Aspendale gives them the lead, and gives them a handy lead, in fact.
What about Bluey's effort in the middle there? Gets first hands on it, ball bounces the wrong way, slides and knocks it forward. He puts his body on the line.
Still looks like the wild man of Borneo, but just loves getting underneath the pack, doesn't he, Tim Mannix?
Yeah. He would have been the only bloke that woke up happy today at these conditions. He's just a real warrior.
3-1-19 Edithvale-Aspendale, 1-2-8 Bonbeach, 17 minutes gone first quarter.
So 11 points. Edithvale with 3 quick goals to take the lead. Umpire says I'm going to ball it up. Secondary ball up. 11 points. Oh, there's Mannix again. Quick kick forward towards half forward. And the ball does dribble inside attacking 50. Bonbeach defence under pressure. Carpenter it was. He loses control. Van Dyke, he might kick his second, not to be. It's off the side of the boot. It goes out towards the pocket. It got the opportunity, although it's just stepped outside the field of play there was Darcy Walk. And they did have the numbers here. They had 2 on 1, but Darcy Walk just not able to keep the ball inside the field of play. So boundary umpire to throw the ball back into play. And Jones gets the ball down for Bonbeach. Ball comes out towards McDonald. Shane McDonald on the left foot. Not the most penetrating kick that he'll offer, and the mark has been taken there, and they can load up again through the agency there of Turner. It is who can play on and put Edithvale back into attack.
Turner goes to half forward. Oh, too big, too strong. Jones had a good run at the ball and took the mark. Goes with the switch, and they can build now down the broadcast side through Williams. Has a touch on the ground, kicks up towards half forward. Dennis Lane is one out. Had the front spot, Mullins did well. Dennis Lane still wins the footy and got a hand pass off to Sykes onto the right boot. Lovely pass from Sykes. Curved around the boundary line expertly, and the mark has been taken for Bonbeach by Gil Renoff. Centering ball, he sees Jones and he finds Jones.
Gee, that's slack. Have a look at Edithvale players. Probably got 6 or 7 down in that goal square, just waiting for the kick, and they've let the field right open for a switch kick.
And Jones, Bailey and Casey could have queued up and raffled who took that mark, even though Edithvale-Aspendale had all the numbers. So Dylan Jones looking for his 19th goal of the season in his 19th game, and won a game for a ruckman is a good performance. He's got the goal, and Bonbeach get a steadier back in the contest. 2-2-14, Edithvale-Aspendale 3-1-19 on the Telstra stores of Mornington and Rosebud's scoreboard. And hello to Pete and the team.
And I'm still getting over how TDL managed to get himself out of the telephone box area.
Yeah.
He had 2 players on him, and somehow he ducked his way out.
2 on 1, and great running support by Sykesy, and really good finish from him. But interesting, Sykesy playing off half-back on Clark here. That's an unfamiliar role. He's normally a dangerous little forward, but he's mixed it up this year.
Wiley beat Jones in the ruck contest there on that occasion. The ball's going to come back to the big fella who hands the ball off towards his teammate there in tag. It is, who goes towards half forward. Walk, he's very quick, Darcy Walk, but he can't control the ball. He tried to control it with one hand. He had to go back outside. He lost about 20 metres in trying to get the ball. He hand passed it off, but now Bonbeach turn it over and they go in towards the Brian Mace wing. Now they'll pick it up once again and they'll go forward towards half forward. Just attacking side of centre when in actual fact Hewlett couldn't get it. The umpire says throw it back into play. 20 minutes in the opening quarter. Edithvale by 5 points. Good game of football happening here as the Edithvale side are 3-1-19, Bonbeach are 2-2-14, and we're here thanks to Pete and the team. The Mornington and Rosebud Telstra stores.
Jones up against Wiley. Jones front spot, won it down. Immediately the midfielders camp over top of the ball, Casey and Greenwood. And another ball up will result on the Brian Mace wing. Mannix got dealt with and he'll get the free kick.
He's had a good start, hasn't he, Bluey?
Very good footballer.
Issues with the body, plenty of issues with the body, but still manages to butter up.
Didn't see the best of him last year in the games that I saw because of those injuries. Jones, that went off hands. Umpire said play on. Ben Hogan steps through traffic, gives it off with the 1-2 to Carpenter. Back to Hogan, who kicks across the half-forward line. 2-on-1 contest here. Meehan under pressure. He's not going to win this one. Hewlett's gotten back to help out. Oh, great stretch by Casey to take the mark. On the half-back line, Jackson Casey. He is a real star of this Sharks outfit. He's got no idea what to do at this stage. He gives it sideways to Owen Hewlett. Still on the half-back flank. They've got the wall built well, the Eagles. To the wing, big fly from Carpenter, couldn't take the mark. Running through was Tag, who did well and kicked towards half-forward, but a safe mark taken for the Sharks by Douglas.
So Douglas switches play out towards the Brian Mace wing. Chance for Bonbeach to go forward. McDonald's got it. Not McDonald, in fact, that was Vassallo who had it and kicked inside attacking 50. And what's happened here, there's a fight going on back behind the play, and the free kick has been reversed. And
I had my eye on that. Nothing in that, really.
So
nothing to warrant a reversal anyway, in my opinion.
Well, that's what the umpires have given, and they've got to be consistent on that for the rest of the day. But as it is, Edithvale have got it after attacking 4-8 from Bonbeach has been thwarted by an umpiring decision.
Having said that, paying something like that early, as long as they're consistent, at least the players are under no illusions to think that we've got to play football today.
What did you think about that, Danny?
Didn't really see it, so yeah, it's an interesting one. If they're going to pay them, then they have to keep paying them, you're right. But
ball is at half forward for the Eagles. Hand pass out from Martello. Flying shot from Neville. He's pretty good from there usually. Just pushes it across and through for one behind. Eagles 3-3-21. Or the scoreboard is too quick for me here. 3-2-20. Bonbeach 2-2-14 after 23 minutes thanks to the Telstra stores of Mornington and Rosebud.
Hastings have a 3-goal lead, and listen, we will be talking to Lockie Kelly out at Tyab throughout the afternoon, as well as the kick comes down the broadcast side. No mark taken there by Carpenter. Ball on the ground. And Maguire's in there. He's had a good start, Elliot Maguire, and the umpire says I'm going to ball it up just outside the attacking 50 here for Edithvale. Two ruckmen go at it again. Wiley and the umpire said it is a free kick out of the contest. In fact, it's not going to go to Jones. A free kick off the ball. It's going to go to Casey. Jackson Casey's got it. He's been called to play and he's got no idea and he's gone. Holding the ball. There was absolutely not one bit of talk there. And inside attacking 50 goes the ball. And Edithvale should kick an easy goal. And they do. That is absolutely poor by Bonbeach there. They did not talk one little bit on that. Did not give Casey the heads up that the umpire had called played on. And as it is, it's a goal to Edithvale, who are 4-2-26, and Bonbeach are 2 goals to 14. You're listening to RPP, the voice of Peninsula football.
Hi, I'm Michelle from O'Brien Real Estate, Carrum Downs. Our team live and work in this area, and with the local knowledge we have, we can get you a better price for your home.
O'BrienRealEstate.com.au. The difference is our people and local knowledge.
So Charlie Martello with his first goal. 4 single kickers for Edithvale-Aspendale. Towards half forward they go again. Hayes went off the ground, but Martello was in the way. Hacked forward by Clark inside 50. A little ball out. Neville with another opportunity. Slipped at the crucial stage as he tried to change direction. And we get a ball up on forward 50. The big thing, it was poor from Bonbeach. Vossi, you were exactly right, but what was poorer was that Casey was looking at the umpire while the Eagles took the advantage and took off through Greenwood.
They set up behind the footy really well, and then, there was Jackson Casey had no option to kick the ball and then got caught playing on, and a really good setup from Edithvale behind the footy here, and they really create a lot of pressure from the kicker.
Paul Rogash has just kicked his second goal for Hastings. They've blown out to a 24-point lead, 6-1-37 over Red Hill, 2-1-13.
Be hoping there's a win down there for Red Hill's sake.
Still a chance here. Greenwood is caught by Jones, and we'll have another ball up.
They don't score heavily though. That's they don't have the players to score heavily. So if it turns around to be a high-scoring game, I think Hastings will have the better of that.
If Rogash is kicking goals, usually plays half-back, doesn't he? Or has he moved more forward this season?
2 weeks ago in the draw, Hastings and Rosebud, he kicked 6 goals in the draw and was BAG.
So he is playing forward more often this season.
So look at that ruck work from Busy G, gets high.
Here's going to be another ball. No, it's going to be holding the ball, says the umpire.
You're right about him, though. He is an athlete.
Yeah. Oh, and I've given up on these stoppage counts now.
I'd love to know the count. Sometimes I come up with a figure like 826, and it's probably that already. Hayes took the free kick, and that is poor checking by the Bonbeach defence. And getting away and setting up a shot on goal is Steve Mannix. No, I'm wrong. It's Brad Tagg, who will kick for goal from 40 metres out.
Good kick, Brad Tagg. I'll back him here.
So Tagg has kicked 19 goals for the season. He comes in looking for 20, and the goal umpire likes it. So Edithvale-Aspendale, after a slow start, have managed to kick away late in this first quarter and have got themselves a pretty handy lead now of 18 points. They're 5-2-32, Bonbeach 2-2-14 on the Telstra Stores of Mornington and Rosebud scoreboard.
Yeah, they've had a lot of shallow inside 50s, but up to 16 now, but that was a really quality one. Nice easy ball inside 50 and a great goal.
So ball back to the middle. Got a bit of blue sky. Look like we're going to get a bit of rain, actually, a lot more rain, but as it is, skies have cleared, but this is a good lead in a final, 18 points. I know it's only early, but
here he goes
very,
again.
very good lead. Mannix just taps it to himself and gets the ball out. God, he's good, Tim Mannix. He goes toward, the kick goes towards half forward and over the line for a boundary thrown. His 2013 final series to get Edithvale the premiership, especially the preliminary against YCW and the win against Bonbeach in the grand final, was just phenomenal, just amazing.
Another good move this year by Yato is to put Todd Woodbridge off half-back. He gives him a lot of run and a lot of direction off half-back.
Played very well there late on in the season last year too, Woodbridge. Ball towards half forward, and a free kick has been paid here against Meehan for a hold. It's going to Douglas, and they've got this 18-point lead without any real contribution from Meehan yet, the star forward.
Douglas has been really good on him so far.
I don't think he's touched the ball yet, Meehan. Matt Douglas with the free kick. He'll go to the opposite back pocket.
This is a great effort. They're forcing him to kick and switch.
Coming out of defence now is Sol to the outer side of the ground. Ball thumped to ground. Getting back there first will be Clark for the Eagles. He can't keep it in. And it's a boundary throw in front of the Brian Mace grandstand. Sun's out now, but there are heavy clouds on the other side, and we're getting those sort of showers throughout the course of the day, which will just keep making play difficult as it goes on. Just as you think it's about to dry out, it gets wet again.
7 goals in the quarter is really good. I mean, got here at the twos, and it was 6 goals for 3 quarters. So
ball back into play, and Bonbeach won that game against Seaford comfortably earlier on today.
Seaford beat Bonbeach.
The other way around, I apologise. I apologise. About 7 goals to 1, I think it was.
Big numbers around the stoppage again, and Edithvale got Woodbridge just floating across half back on his own. Mannix just sitting back off the stoppage. So they're really doing a number here around the ball.
Can they sneak one more before quarter time? We played 30 minutes in the opening quarter. Good pressure there from Edithvale, just forces a quick kick for Bonbeach towards the centre of the ground.
And there's Steve Mannix.
Off the pack, it's going to be a free kick though. It's going to go to Bonbeach as Steve Mannix was away there. And the free kick in the centre of the ground that's going to go to Vasolo goes in short. He's got a teammate there who can play on there in Tyrrell. And at quarter time in the qualifying final for 2017, it is Edithvale-Aspendale 5-2-32, Bonbeach 2-2-14. Take a break, come back and look at the first quarter and preview the second quarter here on RPP, the voice of Peninsula football. Here we go, so that, did I just see something about a TKO in round 10 for the fight?
I will look that up for you.
I think I just saw a message go across the scoreboard side. So Edithvale with the free kick. And the free kick in the centre of the ground, it's going to Neville, who goes towards half forward, going up and taking the mark. There for Edithvale is a man who has also started reasonably well, and Angus Maguire, who goes towards half forward. Ball off the pack over the line for a boundary throw-in. I just saw something about round 10 TKO, but I'm sure you'll give us that information shortly, Jonty. But
and of course, if you want to watch it later, we'll tell you to turn the radio down for 5 seconds.
First goal crucial this quarter, Dunny.
Yep.
Really crucial for both sides, depending on who gets it. Casey, the hand pass. And now a quick kick for Bonbeach out towards the far side of the ground. The ball has been marked on this occasion. They can play on. They go down towards half back, but the mark has been taken there, and it's been taken by Harris for Edithvale, who's 55 metres out from goal. The umpire calls him to play on, and he goes towards centre half forward, and that's a good mark.
That's a really strong mark.
And 40 metres out from goal. And that is, I think it might be Elliot Maguire again.
Yeah.
He has had a really good start, doesn't he?
He's really good overhead, isn't he? I probably haven't really noticed that about his footy, but that's a couple of strong marks.
So, shot on goal coming up here for the Eagles. Elliot Maguire, who kicked a goal in the first quarter. 40 metres out, 45 directly in front. Kicking towards the bright sunshine of Port Phillip Bay. It's close, it's home. It's a good kick, and Elliot Maguire's got 2, and Edithvale-Aspendale get the perfect start to the third quarter. They go to 6 goals, 2-38. Bonbeach 2-2-14, thanks to the Telstra stores of Mornington and Rosebud, just in the first couple minutes of this third quarter, Dunny. Second quarter, I should say. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself.
Now this becomes a really crucial one. Bonbeach have got to win this centre clearance. They've just got to go as hard as they can through this one and see if they can get a ball inside 50 and slow this game down. It's been all Edithvale for a long period, the first quarter, and now they've started the same. Here we go.
Jones won the tap, picked up there by McDonald. Advantage taken with the free kick. Goes inside 50. Dennis Lane is being held. There is no question about that whatsoever. He's got the arms wrapped around him. Not happy with the decision, Mullins, but I would have paid it from way back here.
Yeah, and that's good, that quick inside kick from Macca, and puts the defenders under pressure, and they got a shot on goal.
And straight after this goal, we'll give you a 15-second gap if you want to turn it down, and we'll tell you the result of that fight. So Trent Dennis Lane kicked a goal in the first quarter. Must kick this one to keep Bonbeach alive. They're down by 24 points at the moment. He's 40 metres out, directly in front. Dennis Lane should not miss. Doesn't miss. He got the distance by the space of about 50 centimetres, and Trent Dennis Lane kicks his second goal and his 63rd of the season. Bonbeach 3-2-20. Edithvale-Aspendale 6-2-38 on the Telstra stores of Mornington and Rosebud scoreboard. And if you don't want to know the scores, look away now. There's a tribute to Drew Morford there, the late, great Drew Morford.
He was great, wasn't he?
TKO win Floyd Mayweather. So 50-0 for the great man of boxing. Manages to take down the MMA start.
Oh, no.
And Trent Dennis Lane, as people turn the radio back up, has received another free kick in exactly the same position while the ball was being battled for in the centre of the ground, and this could really hurt. And Graham Yates would be apoplectic in the coaching box for Edithvale-Aspendale.
Craig Gray, I think, gave away the free kick.
This you don't want to switch the button on the Dennis Lane playing some good football, and this could very well switch his game to another level, Dunny.
Yeah,
For his second goal in a minute, Dennis Lane from the same spot. He hits this one a little bit better distance-wise, but he's missed to the right. So a let-off to the Eagles. 3-3-21 Bonbeach, 6-2-38 Edithvale-Aspendale. 4.5 minutes second quarter for the Telstra stores of Mornington and Rosebud.
So we've got Edithvale just bringing the ball out from their defence, switching the ball over towards the centre of the ground. Going up, there was Van Dyke, couldn't take the mark. Ball picked up for Bonbeach, a quick kick around the corner. Goes into the arms of the best kick in the side in Shane McDonald. He goes out towards the forward pocket. He's looking there for Dennis Lane, and probably not a real smart kick there. I know Dennis Lane demands the ball, but he kicked it straight towards a pocket situation and ended up being a stoppage of boundary throwing, Dunny.
Yeah, the Edithvale boys are trying to get into Dennis Lane here. I think they just concentrate on their footy. They're going well enough not to worry about that.
Casey, the defensive hand pass. Trow tried to get the ball to a teammate, but it's picked up by Mannix, who's had a really, really good game. That's Tim. Ray in short. He's got a teammate there who's wrestling. That was Van Dyke, who was wrestling with his opponent. And the umpire is going to throw the ball back into play right below us here at Frankston Park. As the sun is shining, the blue sky is prevailing at the moment. Edithvale lead by 17 points, 6-2-38. Bonbeach 3-3-21 with 6 minutes into the second quarter.
So right in front of our broadcast or telecast position, if you're watching on Facebook Live through RPPFM Peninsula Footy. Hand pass out from Casey. It's taken away by Bennett, who got dispossessed. Lucky to get away with that one. Mannix is at the base of the pack, and he's manic as usual. And we'll have a ball up. And of course, the cricket has got underway in Bangladesh too. Vossi, the Tigers won the toss and elected to bat. Pat Cummings promptly picked up 3 wickets in 7 balls. The Tigers 3 for 43 early doors over in Dhaka. As the Eagles try to go forward, quick kick out of the pack came from Maguire. It was Angus Maguire, and it's off hands and over for a boundary throw-in.
Glad the weather's not monsoonal like over there.
So Sumya Saka, Imral Kayes and Sabir Rahman all back in the sheds thanks to Pat Cummins. And 3 for 43 in the 14th over Bangladesh.
So Edithvale, 55 metres out from their goal. Boundary umpire throws the ball back into play. Just trying to duck his way through there was the Edithvale player there. I didn't quite get his number there. The umpire said it's going to be a
Clark, I think it was.
It was Clark in actual fact. So he couldn't quite do what he wanted to do there, like Trent Dennis Lane did earlier, and weave a way out of virtually nothing. Boundary umpire throws the ball back into play. Clark there once again. He couldn't quite take the ball before he had it, and the umpire says once again, I'm going to call for a ball up. Margin is 17 points. Obviously a double chance. Obviously one of these two sides plays YCW next week. The other one's still alive, but that second semi-final opportunity beckons to one of these two sides. And Tim Mannix, Dunny, is just taking a well-earned break.
Yeah, have a look at Big Bluey just sitting. Bluey having a break. Have a look at the big fella, the ruckman from Dylan Jones, just wandering around the ground now. I think they're going to try and free him up and play him as an extra rover or key forward. He hasn't had much of a touch, so he really needs to get motoring here.
Casey got a holding the ball decision and gave it to Bailey, and that is a great mark with the flight of the ball by Harris, who was then promptly decked by Owen Hewlett, who wins a 50-metre penalty. Hewlett then tried to milk a reversal by hitting the deck when he was, I suppose, touched by a feather. So a 50-metre penalty to Harris, who goes with the centering ball. Running off is Mullins, kicks into the pocket looking for Meehan, a couple to beat. And the golden fist, 12 rows back, came from Matt Douglas, and it'll be a boundary throw-in.
Dunny, obviously been a coach of Chelsea for the last couple of years, and obviously you're caught right in the middle of the Bonbeach and Edithvale. You know, it's obviously a final. It's obviously a big opportunity for a final, but also these two sides just don't like each other, basically.
No, it's starting to stand out now. There's a little bit of niggle in the game.
A boundary throw in deep forward here for the Eagles. Meehan, can he break through? He can't. Quick snap out of the pack from Tag. It's going all the way. Touched on the line is the call.
That was a great effort.
Terrific kick out of nowhere from Brad Tag. 6:3:39 the Eagles. Bonbeach 3:3:21. 9.5 minutes second quarter on the Solar Heart scoreboard.
Short pass. Mark has been taken there for Bonbeach in the defensive 50. Yep, by Williams, who goes long down the line. Mark taken by Bailey. First time I called his name for a little while, so Bo Bailey, who had a good start, has done his set in the first quarter, goes down towards Jones, who goes up. And the umpire, from centre half forward has given that free kick.
Not on the
Jones.
marking contest. Not on the marking contest. It's going to Brad Sykes about 10 metres off the ball.
I was going to say, why isn't the umpire here paying the free kick? But okay, so that's where the confusion laid. So kick down the line towards half forward is a poor one, and the mark has been taken there, and it's been taken by Wiley for Edithvale. They can play on down towards half forward. Hayes went up, couldn't take the mark, ball on the ground. Now held up, and the umpire says I'm going to ball it up. Both sides just in that position at the moment where defences are sort of reigning at the moment. Next goal is crucial. Edithvale lead by 3 goals in the qualifying final.
Trying to work his way through there was Van Dyke. Couldn't do so. Pack converges over top of the ball. And we'll have another ball up. And Essendon has spaced Fremantle again by 31 points late in the third quarter. 14-7-91 to 9-6-60.
Well, that sort of margin puts them ahead of Melbourne.
Great knockout from Wiley.
It was, and it was booted forward by Greenwood. Bouncing ball towards the pocket, and it'll go over for a boundary throw-in. For VFL fans, Richmond has wrapped up 5th spot with an 86-point win over Coburg earlier today. Geelong leads Essendon by 14, and Box Hill playing for 2nd versus Northern Blues playing for 8th. It's the Hawks by 33 points. Ball back into play, one down by Bussey. He got it out towards the line, and Sol is happy to run it back over for a throw-in.
Yes, what gun you going in the Telangana League, Johnny? I'm sure you'll be able to tell me that too.
I can tell you if you want me to.
I reckon you'll be able to too.
I should tell you the Nepean League score. It hasn't changed from 37 to 14 in favour of the Blues over the Red Hill Hillmen.
The Great Sandy Creek ground is looking amazing at the minute, Jonty. You see some photos of it yesterday on Facebook. It's the once-a-year footy ground.
Bring it up for a month of the year, and it is a picture out there, almost in the middle of nowhere, you could say, at Sandy Creek. No community around the ground. But it's great to have a facility like that, and like the Peninsula League has here, a ground that's not used throughout the course of the year. And it will be used again next year. Great to see the Dolphins getting back in the VFL.
They just can't get going here, Bonbeach, can they? They just sort of can't get any connection with their play. You know, there's sort of one kick and then a turnover.
So ball heads back towards the line, and Tim Mannix can't keep it in.
While McDonald's had a little bit of the ball, he's been pretty much ineffective, I would have thought. Danny, what do you think?
Yeah, you want him. He's the guy you want pushing forward inside 50 with his kicks, and he's just rolled back there to have a rest. But I think the amount of stoppages is just amazing, and Edithvale seem to be toughing it out in there.
You haven't missed too much because his stoppage to stoppage, as Dunny was just saying, now kick the half forward for Bonbeach. Diving on the ball there and just basically sitting over it there was the Edithvale player there. I think it was McGuire. No, it wasn't McGuire. In fact, it was Carlin.
Live scoring hasn't made it to Sandy Creek yet, Vossi.
So ball thrown back, thrown up by the umpire, taken by Mannix. Got the quick kick, and Luxor fortunate lands straight in the waiting arms there of Van Dyke, who's already kicked a goal in the game. Kicked the half-forward, ball knocked over the line for a boundary throw-in. So still 14 minutes played in the second quarter. Not much scoring going on in this quarter. Both sides have kicked a goal though. Edithvale 6-3-39, Bonbeach 3-3-21.
Rotations are a bit higher this quarter. I know Edithvale have had a lot more than what they had in the first quarter. Bonbeach are going at about the same rate. Here they go, bit of handball now.
They need to get some free-flowing play at the moment, as Danny was saying, because they just haven't been able to be themselves at the moment. Bonbeach are in a bit of trouble here at the moment. They need the next goal. Long kick towards half forward going up. Oh, in fact, that doesn't go up. In fact, Hewlett at the back at 50 goes in short, and the mark has been taken by that man who is very, very dangerous. And Shane McDonald, who'll have a shot at goal 25 metres out from goal directly in front. This for the second goal of the quarter for the Sharks.
A great kick again from Brad Sykes down to Hewlett. He's had a couple of really nice disposals, Brad Sykes, and I like him playing off half-back if he's going to get his hands on the footy and hit targets.
So it will be McDonald to line up for goal number 33 of the season. It won't be. He's hooked it badly and threw for a behind. So a bit of a surprise that. You would usually expect him to put that one away.
So repeat entry time now for Bonbeach. They've got to get another entry here off the back of these kick-ins.
3-4-22, plays 6-3-39, and he is out of the square, Nick Carlon. He's put his foot on the line, the umpire is right onto it, so it'll be a ball up at the top of the square, and another opportunity for Bonbeach to continue to drag themselves back into this game.
And we should acknowledge the great work of the techs and the cameramen here, because we're live on Facebook, so you can pick up footage of this game on Facebook, the RPP Peninsula Footy page.
Dennis Lane just got a kick away and threw for a behind. 2 goals, 2 for him. The Rye Hotel scoreboard sees Bonbeach 3-5-23, Edithvale-Aspendale 6-3-39, 15 and a half minutes gone in this second term. Carlon has another go. And he drives it long, and a big fly from Carpenter. Couldn't drag the mark down. And the tackle laid by Martello brings the ball to ground in Vasalo's hands.
So, 55 metres out from the Bonbeach goal. And Bailey dived on it, and then as he was trying to get it out, the ball was sort of pushed back under his body, and Edithvale wanted holding the ball, and the umpire said, no way. Ball knocked down there by Buzzy. It's taken for Bonbeach. A quick kick forward by Bailey, but it's been marked at the top of the goal square there for Edithvale. And they should be able to clear from right full back as the kick comes out towards the half back line. Ball doesn't go out of play. I thought it was inevitably it was going to, but not to be. Edithvale a couple of hand passes and worked their way towards the centre wing. Picked up by Maguire. Good tackle applied, although he might be in his back also. Was the player there in Flannery over Elliot Maguire's back. Umpire says ball up.
Played really well, Elliot, hasn't he? Coming hard at the footy off half forward. He's been really, really good.
He's kicked 2 goals in the game. He's the only goal kicker for Edithvale in this quarter after kicking the first goal of the game, so he's had a significant input, Jonty.
Yeah, very important player, that one, getting his way back into the game. So, well, that's a push, says the umpire. Holds his arms out and asks the question, Michael Bussey, but he's not going to get any love from the ump, and Jones will take the free kick right in front of our telecast broadcast position. Kicks up towards half forward. McDonald with strength, almost did enough. Umpire said play on.
He's not going to be happy here, Macca. That could have been paid a mark, I reckon, that one.
We do have an Edithvale-Aspendale umpire near the effects mic, certainly letting everyone know what he thinks. As Neville can't break through, he's wrapped up by Casey. I have another ball up just on the point of the centre square. Rucks to go again. Bussey got the jump. Tapped it down, almost thrown away by Williams. McDonald tries to barge his way through, can't get there. Bailey lays the tackle, and we do it one more time. 3-quarter time in the AFL, Essendon 14-8-92, leading Fremantle 9-6-60. And over at Bunguyan Reserve, Hastings 7-2-44, Red Hill 3-5-23.
And we will be talking to Lockie Kelly at half-time as well of this game, so stay tuned for that. He is at Tired watching that game. Player side in, the umpire says I'm going to call for a ball up. So after 7 goals in the first quarter, Dunny, we've only had 1 each in 19 minutes of this quarter.
Only 4 inside 50s each as well, so it's been a real struggle.
So it's basically between 50 and 50 the game's being played. Okay, so knocking the ball forward. Good pressure there by McDonald. And just taking the ball out of play there. Shane McDonald right below where we're broadcasting this afternoon. And as I said before, we are live on Facebook. You can watch us through the RPP Peninsula Footy page and see the footage of this game and maybe see three of the most beautiful heads you'll find on radio. Not. Pick towards half forward. And the mark has been taken there. Sorry, boys. The mark has been taken there for Edithvale. And it's been taken there by Cleary.
Thought you were serious until you said not.
Well.
And then I knew you were serious.
Good tackle applied. We got heads for radio, as they say, so that's all good. But, goals are difficult to score, Johnny. Let's see if you can get one for us.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? As we tick towards time on, our great smother laid there by Harris. Trying to get out of there was Woodbridge. The kick goes straight up in the air, just thumped forward by Buzzy. He did quite well. Off the ground goes Clark. The break, the slip at the crucial stage. Little hand pass over the top from Wiley. Toe poke forward again by Hayes. Here's their opportunity. Who's going to win the race? Hayes or Carpenter? Carpenter. Did it very well, the veteran for Bonbeach, and he got it through for a rush behind. The two number threes hooting after the ball. 6-4-40 Edithvale-Aspendale. Bonbeach 3-5-23. 20 minutes gone. Second quarter for the Rye Hotel.
Well, that's a shaky kick in.
And it is dangerous. Was Hayes being held? Umpire said no. Still trying to work it out of there. The Eagles finally came out the back. Knocked away from Martello before he could get a kick away. Jones under pressure from Buzzy. Just threw it on the boot towards half forward. Backing himself and running through. But being caught was Cleary. Great tackle. And Matt Douglas, who's had a huge first half, will get the reward. He'll send it out wide. It took forever to get to Bailey. It was knocked down by Maguire, Angus, but Bailey was up to the task. Got the kick towards the wing. Sol can run onto the footy. Went to ground as he tried to pick it up. And we'll get another ball up just forward of centre wing in front of the Brian Mace grandstand for Bonbeach.
They'd have a high tackle count, Edithvale, wouldn't they? They just seem to be able to catch them every time.
Playing some good, tough finals football at the moment is what it is. They're just playing some in-your-face sort of stuff. They're not letting Bonbeach play the way that Bonbeach normally play. The margin is 17 points. We're 22 minutes into the second quarter. Qualifying final winner to play in 6 days' time back here. As the ball is kicked off the ground out towards the grandstand, but the umpire says it's a free kick and it's going to go to Bonbeach. And it's going to go, oh no, not going to go to Bo Bailey, it's going to go to Dylan Jones. So what can the big fella do here? Try and set something up for his side. He goes towards half forward. And not taking the mark and the ball over the line for a boundary throw-in. Not a big crowd here this afternoon, but there is people right around the ground, but just not a lot of area as well.
I think the Conor McGregor fight might have had an impact on the crowd.
I think you're probably onto something there, and of course...
Why would you watch a fight when you can watch a footy final?
We did say the result earlier, we're not going to mention it again, but the fight is over. And the umpire will call for a ball up.
Bangladesh 3 for 48 in the cricket as well. It's something to watch after the football. As the ball comes towards half forward. Oh, great smother there by Steve Mannix, and Tim Mannix picked up the loose ball and booted it forward. Bennett was caught with the footy, slipping at the crucial stage. It came to Tyrrell, who was wrapped up by Clark, and the umpire said, give it to me once more.
Stevie Mannix, just amazing how he just sits off the back of those stoppages and plays like a wicketkeeper sort of role every time the ball goes up, and he's quite often the guy that gets his hands on it first. Just
through the centre of the ground, still diving on the contest was Turner. And did he dive on the football and drag it in? The umpire said he didn't. And a ball up is the result. Right beside the centre circle, 17 points the margin. Edithvale-Aspendale lead Bonbeach thanks to aftercare. As the Eagles try to move forward, can't do so, and another ball up. I wish you were still keeping those stats.
Yeah.
Dunny, you'd be running out of ink. Jones won the tap. Quick snap out of the contest towards half forward. It goes for the Sharks. A quick kick by Hayes, picked up by Bennett, working through traffic. Carpenter was unloaded unfairly, said the umpire. And, well, the umpire here has decided no advantage to Lachlan Gill-Renoff, even though he was running away with nobody anywhere near him. He has to go back behind his mark and promptly turns it over to Clark. So the free kick did not advantage Bonbeach at all there. As Clark goes to the outer side, Martello runs onto it with a beat. Sends a long hand pass over his head to Hayes. He worked it through. Oh, bang! Clark gets absolutely poleaxed. To be fair, he's hurt. He's stunned by this, Clark. But to be fair, even though the Eagles players are coming in to remonstrate, I think Ferraro just slipped at the inopportune time and crashed into the head of Clark. Quick kick goes towards half forward, and big Tom Hogan, the youngster, can't get down to pick it up. He ends up leaving it for Casey, who got it to McDonald, fed the hand pass through to Tom Hogan, who goes towards the wing. Dennis Lane has to come up and get a possession there. Bailey will mark off his own head. Centering ball across to Tyrrell. Great pick up at his bootlaces. Goes towards full forward. Trowell. Oh, great work by Ray. Back with the flight of the ball. What's the umpire picked out here? A free kick to Ray for in the back.
Trowell was out then, wasn't he?
Yeah, and that's the first chain of possession. So they had 5 possessions without Edithvale touching the footy and looked really dangerous. But great effort by Ray. Really put his body on the line.
26 minutes played in the second quarter. Edithvale 6-4-40, Bonbeach 3-5-23. We're just about at half time, and we will be crossing out the tide to find out what's happening out there with Hastings in front, but Lockie will tell us a bit more about that shortly in that game as the ball comes out. Not picked up there on that occasion by, I think it was Neville who tried to pick it up. The umpire says, I'm going to ball it up. And Brian Mace grandstand wing, and that's where the Edithvale change rooms are over there, right in front of where they come out of their players' race.
Been a bit like watching a soccer match this quarter, hasn't it? There hasn't been a lot of action around the goals.
Definitely not. Can Bonbeach sneak a late one, or can either side sneak a late one before half time? Good tackle applied. The umpire says, I'm going to ball it up. And I reckon that stoppage count, I reckon it would definitely be in 3 figures right now. We've had basically 60 minutes of football. And I reckon if you work on the fact that we're going at 2 a minute earlier, I reckon you'd look at least 100 at this stage.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. And there'll be another one pretty shortly, I reckon, too, as Knight can't break it out. Finally taken for the Eagles. Quick kick by Clark goes towards upward. Oh, great mark, Martello, and he kept going. Chipped it over the head, he's got runners in play. It was Wiley who got it across to Angus McGuire, who runs inside 50, puts the kick on the boot and points to the heavens. It took forever, but the quick break results in a goal, and Angus McGuire gets his first for Edithvale-Aspendale, and they boot away again. 7-4-46, Bonbeach 3-5-23 on the Mornington Peninsula Brewery scoreboard after 27 and a quarter minutes of this second term.
And they found space on the opposite side, but a great little effort from Tag there. He went straight up to Neville, who got that clearing kick out of that contest and set it all up. The Maguire boys are having a bit of a day here.
I tell you what, set me a task, Vossi, and I'll come up with the answer. Waganya by 29 points at half-time against Rutherglen.
Is that a qualifying final?
Elimination. First semi, I should say.
Okay, so it's a knockout final.
It is.
Beautiful. Thanks for your work there, Johnny. Appreciate that.
And that's a bigger arch rival matchup than this one, if it's possible.
Who are they playing?
Rutherglen.
Okay, yep.
There we go. Probably got Jackson Casey got out right on the siren there.
Just what they didn't need, Bonbeach. As the siren sounds for half-time, Jackson Casey, he was away, and we're lucky he's not mic'd up because it was pretty easy to tell what he said when the siren went.
So how many goals did we have for that quarter?
Just
three.
Yeah, 2-1 in favour of the Eagles.
6 Edithvale, 23 Bonbeach. Can they get the ideal start?
Good move, Tyrrell forward, obviously, as well. Bennett through the middle, he got the clearance.
High kick, long kick, just off target and through from behind. So 3-6-24 plays 7-4-46. The margin is 22 points, but just in that first minute or so, Johnny, they just looked a bit more purpose in their step.
Yeah, they've got to take the game on. Woodbridge didn't know what to do with it and eventually almost put it out on the full. And the mark was well taken by Mullins, who then definitely done. He should have got a 50 after being shoved over by Jack Williams.
One of my frustrations, if it was a forward that had taken that mark, it would have definitely been 50.
Yep, Bailey receives, gave it to Douglas and then to Casey into the centre of the ground, backing himself, going through. There was Hayes with a hand pass, slipping at the crucial stage was Turner. Creates an opportunity for Gil Renoff. He threw it away, and that's exactly how the umpire saw it.
So here comes that tackle pressure again early.
Free kick to the Eagles on the Brian Mace grandstand wing. Taken there by Greenwood, who kicks up towards half forward. Jumping in there was Gil Renoff, can't keep it in play, and it's over for a boundary throw-in.
Mick Meehan hasn't had a kick yet, has he?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Maybe one. He might have got a kick sort of down, but there. He's certainly been well held, that's for sure.
Essendon by 16 in the AFL, Richmond by 17 early doors against the Saints. Out the back it came to Angus Maguire, who got a kick up towards half forward. Meehan arrives, could have given away a free kick. Gathered now for the Sharks by Flannery, got the hand pass back into traffic. Head down over the football was Knight, I believe. And a ball up. In fact, Jackson Soul, the last man to get up there.
You wouldn't have thought that, but they've kicked 7 goals for him. Meehan hasn't had a shot on goal, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, he's capable of big bags. He's only kicked 38 for the year, which is about half his output from last season, though.
I know 8 of them were against Chelsea, but
he does have big days, though, doesn't he? Saw him kick 8 or 9 against Langwarren last year, too. Quick kick out of the contest from Maguire, goes towards full forward. Chance here for Meehan, gives the hand pass off to Harris. Can steady on the left boot, and not quite. And Owen Hewlett made sure the umpire saw that it was over the post. But a good effort from Harris on the non-preferred. Edithvale-Aspendale 7-5-47, Bonbeach 3-6-24. 3 minutes gone in the third quarter for Solar Heart.
that was a Trent Dennis Lane playing high, and Harris just got off him and got a run and received shot on goal.
He wasn't far away. It was a really good effort. I thought he had to be quite deliberate over the kick. The ball is over the fence and out in the park, so we might take this opportunity to hear from a sponsor on RPPFM, the voice of Peninsula Footy.
Sponsoring the footy finals, David Bark Appliances in Rosebud, where top brands cost you less. Giving 27 years of trusted local service, David Bark Appliances, more local than the footy. Check the David Bark website, 1263 Point Nepean Road, Rosebud, 5986 5544.
Hi, I'm Michelle from O'Brien Real Estate, Carrum Downs. Our team live and work in this area, and with the local knowledge we have, we can get you a better price for your home.
O'BrienRealEstate.com.au. The difference is our people and local knowledge.
So the ball's finally made its way back from the pond across the road, and the mark taken well by Douglas, who had a massive first half. If they can get over the line, he'd have to be an early contender for the Mornington Peninsula Brewery Player of the Day. Ball down towards centre wing. There's a kicking in danger. Free kick being picked out here. No problem with that one. It's going to the Eagles. Taking a while to get off the football, Ferraro. Free kick to Edithvale-Aspendale.
So you can see now, you can have a look at Bonbeach setting up the field. They've got 18 guys inside that kicker, so they're really trying to get up high and maybe do some rebound footy here.
Maguire, Elliott kicks up towards half forward, and there is a whistle on play, and the free kick will be taken by James Murnane. First time I've called him today too.
Now the spread's on. Kick towards Dennis Lane at half back. He gets the ball back. Bailey in short, mark taken there by Bennett. They need to get some bit more aggression in their football here, and I'm not talking about aggression at the minute, I'm talking about aggression as in quickness of play, because they are just...
Great pressure again.
They are all at sea. Here's an opportunity for Edithvale. They turn the ball over, now inside attacking 50, the hand pass, but it goes only as far as the Bonbeach player there in Douglas, who is tackled, and the umpire says ball up.
Gee, Edithvale are fantastic at getting back behind again. Like, Bonbeach should have got going then. They had the right set up around the ground, but Edithvale just denied him another kick.
Edithvale 7-5-47, Bonbeach 3-6-24, Bendigo Bank scoreboard as the kick goes out towards the half-back line, but it's picked up there by Maguire. Angus goes towards the pocket, towards Meehan. The ball bounces over the top of his head and out through for a behind. So the margin is 24 points. And both of these sides, of course, have beaten YCW through the years. So YCW, whoever they play, they're going to have a contest next week. Elliot Maguire, they're just keep the ball going, and the ball is over the line. So from that kick in, so right now, Joddy, this game is played on Edithvale's terms, and they'd be happy the way it started, because they would have been worried about the first 10 minutes of this quarter of Bonbeach maybe kicking a couple of goals, getting themselves right back, but it hasn't happened.
Yeah, if Tyrrell had kicked that first one, it could have changed things completely. But Edithvale-Aspendale will be delighted with how things are going at the moment. Margin is 24 points. One down by Jones. Quick kick away from Casey, who's tried hard at half-back. Tapped on by Dennis Lane. Can Vassallo get there? The ball favoured him on the bounce, but then he ran it over the line just as he got the hand pass to Dennis Lane streaming past. And a boundary throw in front of the interchange bench.
Just lagging behind this stoppage here at Bonbeach. You got Casey, Carpenter, Bennett.
One down in the front by Wiley. Diving in there was Turner. And we'll have another ball up.
Neville.
It was Neville, sorry.
They only gave him a chance to get it. They were too far off that stoppage, their midfielders.
So again they go. Bailey can't pick it up. It hit his boot and ran away from him. Walk can't get clear. Bailey's dived on the football here. The umpire hasn't seen that on the other side of the contest. And calls for a ball up. Once again, right in front of our broadcast position. Essendon have beaten Fremantle by 15 points. 16-11, 107 to 14-8, 92. So a much improved effort by the Dockers to finish their season, but the Bombers still get the points. And we await to see, in fact, they have held on percentage. So Essendon have gone ahead of Melbourne by 1.3% into 7th on the ladder. So the Demons must wait for that West Coast game. As a great tackle is laid here by Harris on that is Gil Renoff, and holding the ball is a decision.
Good player, this kid. I really rate him. Liam Harris can play wing, halfback.
I think he made his debut in the finals last year too.
He can kick on both sides of his body, that's for sure. He emphasised that by just missing on the left foot earlier. He looked good off the boot, that kick also.
So that's a great matchup, isn't it? Harris standing on Bailey here now. That's two super talents, young men.
Two young guns of the competition as ball is knocked down towards McDonald, who knocks it towards Jones, who had to then apply a tackle. The umpire said, what's the umpire? He was going to give advantage, but then in the end there was no advantage. But the free kick's going to go to Gary Carpenter. Speaking of men who have issues with their body, Gary Carpenter's had a few injuries in his time. But a good footballer, I know he's going to get he's going to hand pass it to Jones, who actually had the free kick, and he passed it back towards Carpenter, who goes long. But the market's been taken there, and it's been taken there by Chris Wiley.
He's shaping as one of the better players on the ground for sure, Wiley. He's won a mountain of hit-outs. He's set up really well behind.
Aside from that one goal Dylan Jones got, he hasn't really had a great influence out of the ruck contest there on the scoreboard. Here's a chance over the top. Carlin, he tried to run through his opponent there. The ball at centre-half forward here for Edithvale. A hand pass out, but Bonbeach is trying to hang on at this stage. Got to try and hang on. They're 4 goals behind, and they are in real trouble at this stage. The umpire says holding the ball. They need to take some advantage of this very soon, because at this stage, Edithvale 7 goals to 3 in front, and 24 points is the margin.
Well, here we go. Jones has got out.
And goals have been very difficult to score since quarter time. Vassallo's got it. Long kick and goal. That's better. That is better. And that is a goal. As I say, goals have been difficult to score. Bonbeach kick one against the play. 4-6-30. And Edithvale 7-6-48 on the David Bark Appliances scoreboard. You're listening to RPP, the voice of Peninsula football.
At Solar Hut, we go to extreme lengths to give you years of trouble-free solar power. Our systems are designed for the harshest conditions, rigorously tested and backed by trusted Solar Hut warranties. Don't risk anything less than Solar Hut.
Wiley got caught a bit there, defending a bit deeper, and Jones was a switch kick player. And great kick from Gavin Vassallo. He's veteran of the game, but it was a beautiful kick.
And you could say he's opened the gate. He actually hit the gate flush through the goals and pushed it open, and he's opened the gate for the Sharks as well. And they'll come out of the centre again. Bennett, no, he won't. Just as he got a kick away, there was a free kick behind the play, and it's coming back to be taken there by Van Dyke. He kicks up towards half forward. Front spot Sol, brought to ground by Elliot McGuire. Doing the roving was Tag. Grab without the football. Advantage taken. Advantage was taken, so it has to keep going. You can't stop 3 possessions forward. Greenwood, play on is the call. He was lucky not to get pinged there, in fact.
Yeah, a good effort from Liam Harris. He sort of was one of those players that stopped and then got in a tackle to cause this stoppage.
So ball up at half forward, thumped forward there by Bussey. Sol tries to get it out of there. Also involved was Flannery. The umpire calls for a ball up. First 2 goals of the third quarter at Tyab have both been kicked by Sean Foster. And Hastings lead 9-3-57 to Red Hill 3-6-24. Kick off the ground from Clark. Look at this skid through. There you go.
I often talk to our players about first hands at the stoppage. You see Blue Mannix just got his hand to that, tapped it forward, Clarkey off the ground. You're always going to create something if you're the first hand there. Great effort.
Quick reply for Edie Asp through Matthew Clark's first goal. They go to 8-6-54, Bonbeach 4-6-30 on the Solar Heart scoreboard after 12 and a half of this third quarter, and they really could not afford that, the Sharks.
They have worked so hard to get back into the game, Bonbeach, and they scored a goal, and then Edithvale just go down and score one just basically straight away. So, yeah, it's just not meant to be a day, I don't think, and I don't think it's meant to be Bonbeach's day, although they're still going to try. Ball just forced forward towards Edithvale's half-forward line, hand pass back over the top there by Harris it was. Still a chance here for Maguire. A hand pass out, but he's holding the ball. He tried to get a little bit too cute with the hand pass. And the free kick there is going to go to Douglas for Bonbeach.
Yep,
No, not Flannery. Flannery it was, who goes in short. And the mark has been taken there for Bonbeach at full back. And it's been taken by Hewlett, who plays on. Goes towards Casey, who's got it. Have you rated Jackson Casey's game today, Dunny?
No, he hasn't had great heaps of it today.
Long kick out towards the wing area. A chance there for a hand pass by McDonald towards Tyrrell. And now a hand pass back over the top. It's just not clean, and I know the conditions are heavy out there, but they're just not clean. Edithvale just much cleaner. Umpire says I'm going to ball it up. 8-6-54 Edithvale, Bonbeach 4-6-30. That's on the Mercedes-Benz Mornington scoreboard, and Edithvale in control.
Yeah, they're clean with the ball, and without it, they're putting immense pressure on the Sharks and not giving them any clean possession. Ball came out by hand to Elliot McGuire, who kicks inside 50. Hewlett dispossessed. Play on's the call fairly. Picked up there by Williams, who brought it back towards the wing. Wiley is there, a kick behind the play, the big man, and takes the mark.
That ruck change doesn't work for them if Wiley stays in the ruck against young. Is it Hogan?
Yeah, young Tom Hogan. Yeah, great mark here by I'll get the name out in a minute. Hewlett.
And he's gone back and he's been really good this quarter, Owen.
Yeah, I knew the name, I just couldn't get the tongue around it. He's been good, but he's turned it over. And that man who hasn't touched the football now has a gift shot at goal from 40 metres out, Mick Meehan. And you just don't give gifts to quality players like this.
That was odd, because the Bonbeach player who the ball was intended for just basically saw the ball was going to drop short, just gave up on the contest.
Yeah, and you want, I think Husey would be saying for him to switch the play and try and do that, but it wasn't a great switch.
Meehan makes him pay the ultimate price. He gets his first, and it's a long way back now for the Sharks. Edithvale-Aspendale 9-6-60, Bonbeach 4-6-30 on the Mercedes-Benz of Mornington scoreboard. You're listening to RPPFM, your voice of Peninsula footy.
Mornington Peninsula Brewery love football as much as they love making world-class beer. That's why they're the sponsors of local footy. This season, treat yourself to a round of beer and a pizza at the Brewery Bar. Mornington Peninsula Brewery, 72 Watt Road, Mornington.
Might head there after the game, actually.
I was there last night. Good night out.
Oh.
Beer and coffee at the Mornington Brewery.
And pizza.
Yeah.
All goes well. Another great sponsor of Audible P. Edithvale just trying to work their way out of the centre once again, but Jones cuts the ball off for Bonbeach and gets the ball over. Tyrrell, a long kick towards half forward. This is getting really worrying if you're a Bonbeach supporter, because they've only kicked the 4 goals to the game in 3 or 2.5 quarters of football, and they're 5 goals behind on the scoreboard. Edithvale have doubled their score, 60 to 30 on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard as the ball comes back into play. Hogan tried to get the knockdown but didn't really gain much effectiveness out of that. Quick kick for Edithvale out towards Walker. He's got it on defensive side of centre wing, goes towards his teammate there who just about ends up in the crowd. And that, of course, was Bussy.
That was good work by the member of the coaching staff down here who wrapped his arm around him and caught him to stop him flying over the fence.
I think that's Aaron Martello down there, actually.
Big as Martello. If he wrapped you up, you'd stay safe.
Yeah, he was quite happy to be wrapped up on that occasion, I reckon, Buzzy. Ball towards half forward here for the Sharks. Tim Mannix again at the base of the pack. Got poleaxed. Hand pass came out to Harris, who spent it before he got it. And McDonald sees him over the line for a throw-in. Quarter time at the MCG. Richmond 4-2-26, St Kilda 1-2-8. Tigers playing for 4th spot on the ladder. St Kilda are cooked after Essendon's victory a few minutes ago. As we see
another
Flannery
clean,
caught.
another clean hit out to Wiley. He's having a spell now.
If they win by about 182 points, they might be half a chance.
I think they're down on... I don't think they can catch up on points now. As the ball comes away. And we'll have another ball up. Essendon and Melbourne on 12 wins. Is St Kilda on 11 or 10?
St Kilda's on 11, and the margin at Tybe is 27 points in favour of Hastings.
As we see Greenwood be wrapped up by Tyrrell and Vassallo.
I don't think I've ever seen that. That's 4 hit-outs in a row Dylan Jones has lost. So it's... Buzzy's a real jumper there. He gets one now.
That it only went as far as Neville, who got the hand pass through to Tim Mannix, who kicked towards half forward. And, well, I thought that was a mark. It was either a mark or a free kick to Charlie Martello, who did it very nicely on the point of the centre square.
He hasn't had a big game, Charlie, but he's had some real good cameo moments.
Another talented youngster is Charlie Martello. He kicks in towards full forward. Through the hands it goes of Carlon. Picked up by Bailey, who received from Waterston. Towards half forward it goes. Now is an opportunity. Quick kick for the Eagles back towards half forward. Now it's in the hands of Flannery for the Sharks. Quick kick up towards the wing. How's this one going to bounce? Dennis Lane's got 4 to beat, and not even an ex-AFL player can do that, and it's taken away by Greenwood.
And that's a difference. That guy coming off, I don't know who it was, come off half-back, should have handballed. They had the numbers there, and he's kicked it to a 4-on-1. So they push high up the ground to create those handballs and just refuse to do it.
And rain falling, Vossi.
30 points is the margin, making Bonbeach's task all the more harder on the Heritage scoreboard at 60 to 30. And they've only scored the 2 goals since quarter time. Mind you, Edithvale have only scored the 4, but this game is going Edithvale's way, and I don't think Bonbeach are going to be able to do too much about it at this stage, because they just do not look like it. They run back inside defensive 50. That's not going to help their cause because they're going the wrong way. As the kick goes out towards half back, yeah, that's well done. That's better. Just get the ball forward. They're just adjusted the conditions a little bit more. And got the bodies on the line there. Now hand pass over the top. Hewlett has got it. He goes towards half forward. And the ball is knocked away towards the line, and Woodbridge sees it over for a boundary throw-in.
I think they're winning enough of the ball, Bonbeach. They just can't get any meterage, can they? No go forward because of the strength of the Edithvale-Aspendale defence.
Owen Hewlett again, but he's had a really good quarter for him, so I think some of the changes that they've made have worked.
Bussy does his own roving, got it out to Van Dyke, who kicked up towards the wing. Meehan, well, give a bloke a confidence booster and he'll take it. He took a good mark and he brought it into the middle of the ground. Hayes has it now, steps one way and then goes back the other, floats it inside 50, and that man Hewlett is back there to take another saving mark for Bonbeach.
Now they spread the field really well here. Hopefully they get some movement.
Somewhere in this ground, Paddy Swain will be watching, and knowing that if it's Bonbeach he plays next week, that they have had the wood over them. in recent times. So it'll be a matchup that he'll be very, very comfortable with, I am sure, although he probably won't say it too publicly, especially next week on the footy show if he happens to be on. Here's a chance for Buzzy, a hand pass, and now a quick kick towards half forward man. Spoiled the Bonbeach opponent there. Now a chance. They go forward through Martello. It's off the side of the boot. That's out of bounds in the full. So 21 minutes played in the third quarter, and Tim Mannix
is hurt. The trainers came from 3 different directions to get to him. He's not sure whether it's a leg or if he's just in wondering where he's at the moment.
And by being in a second semi-final position, which we're thinking they're going to get through, they don't necessarily have to play him next week. They've still got the double chance, the luxury of that. Here's a chance for McDonald. A quick kick by Shane McDonald towards half forward. It's picked up by Dennis Lane, but he is tackled. And that is holding the ball in a good tackle, and it just hasn't been Trent Dennis Lane's day either, Johnny.
No, 2 goals, 2 he's kicked, but hasn't been really able to make an impact as the ball is driven long, high, and look at the wind to just pull that up. So this is Bonbeach's quarter with the wind, and they're not taking it at all at the moment as Douglas gets seen over the line for a throw-in. And has a little bit of interaction in the crowd as well.
Steve Mannix has had a very good game, Dunny.
Yeah, all their inside mids have been really, really good. Mannix he can go half back. He's played a little bit there. Now he's back on the inside, I think, because Bluey looks like might be off for a bit of a spell here for some time. And
yeah, I think it was actually a head knock of some description. He looked like he was trying to find his bearings as he came off the ground. So we may not necessarily see him again today, as tough as he is, as Casey is wrapped up immediately. And we'll have a ball up. The last man up from that is Tom Turner. So right in front of our broadcast position as Meehan and Neville will wait to go back on for Edithvale-Aspendale. Steve Mannix just got a quick kick forward. Gains about 25 metres and puts it over for a throw-in.
Tommy Turner's putting some time into Macca here at the stoppage, just trying to hold him up.
So another throw-in at half forward for Edie Asp. Hastings lead by 27 points over at Bunguyan Reserve. One down by Jones. Stepping through was Williams. Thrown out of the contest without the football was Harris, and he'll get a free kick for the Eagles.
And just looking at that Richmond score there, they're going to be playing Geelong in 2 weeks' time in a final. By the look of it, they are killing St Kilda.
7-3-45 the Tigers, 1-2-8 the Saints. The Tigers almost certainly will get third over GWS if they win that game.
So, kick towards the forward pocket, but has been marked there for Bonbeach in defence. And Edithvale 30 points in front just before three-quarter time. Great position to be in, especially considering they'll have the win in the last quarter. Kick towards Wiley, who went up in the marking contest, and he's going to get a free kick.
He's been super, this bloke. He's won a lot of hit-outs and starting to get his hands on it in marking contests.
Well, the best on ground at the end of the day, he might be in line for that trophy at the end of the day. You just never know, but certainly you're right, he has had a very good game as they work towards the boundary line there through Bo Bailey, Bonbeach inside the defensive 50, and they will throw the ball back into play. So 30 points is the margin here on the Hastings Mowers scoreboard. It's 9-6-60 Edithvale, Bonbeach 4 goals at 6:30, and well, Bonbeach with a lot of work to do at three-quarter time, and Steve Hughes with plenty of things on his mind at this stage as to what he can do, and he's sort of standing down there, arms folded, chewing the gum, and sort of wondering what he can do.
Edithvale is set up. They've got sort of 10 players back behind it here to 5 or 6 now Bonbeach players. So they're setting up behind their forward stoppages really well. Trent Dennis Lane's come high. He's got a 2-on-1. He's got Wiley sitting in behind him.
There's 2 walls there, isn't there?
Yeah.
If they get across the first one, the second one's got an extra man in it, and this is where it's going to go.
Straight to Wiley.
Beautifully read, Dunny. Wiley takes the mark as the loose man, 2 lines behind the play. Kicks into centre half forward, and the mark is taken there by Greenwood, who's been in and under a bit as well. Greenwood plays on, bombs it long. It's full forward. Harris to fly, thumped away from behind, and goes over for a throw in about 40 metres out from goal.
And here we go again. They're set up. There's 5-on-2 out here now. Bonbeach probably just needs to even up the park a little bit and try and play them one-on-one.
A goal to Stephen Williams puts Hastings out by 33 points in the elimination final for Nepean League. As Casey, he hasn't been able to find any space whatsoever. Advantage quickly taken. It hasn't been paid. I think
he missed
anyway. Was it Greenwood or was it Elliot Maguire? I think it was Greenwood. So it's going to come back for the holding the ball decision to Matthew Clark, who will line up from 35 metres out, 45-degree angle.
So this to put a...
This would be the sealer, wouldn't it?
Oh, this to put a really good feeling into the camp at three-quarter time for Edithvale. Goes long, that's a goal. I thought the Bonbeach defence were going to get there, but that is a goal. And that is a goal to... it was Clark, wasn't it? It was Matt Clark, it was.
Second one for the quarter.
So Edithvale out by 40 points.
Hang on, just wait on this. It's been given a goal, but now we're having a discussion on the goal line, Vossi. So the players are being sent away. Maybe a boundary umpire has said something here, and that's creating a discussion between the two boundaries, a field umpire and the goal umpire. The goal umpire is the one right in position, and they are allowing the goal to stand, I believe. They certainly are.
So that's 6 goals in front, 27.5 minutes gone in the third.
Yibbity yibbit up.
36 points to margin. Yeah, I'm not a fan of boundary umpires. Should do the boundary umpiring job, and sort of that's my opinion anyhow. But
the goal umpire was confident, wasn't he? He was right on the line. If he's blindsided or something, fair enough, he can ask the question. But he was right on the line. He was confident. He very quickly decided that was a goal, so the goal should stand.
Oh, there he is.
So Tim Mannix is back out there. Look at that. And he's hurt Bo Bailey behind the play too. Kick towards half forward taken by Harris, and that'll be 50.
The umpire hasn't seen it.
Oh, unbelievable. Bailey still down behind the play. That was Bennett who just reached in and knocked the ball out of Harris's hands. Harris runs on, plays on, gives the handball across to Cleary, who's under the pump, and he's been under the pump almost every time he's been near it today, Cleary. It hasn't been his day. His team has had the upper hand. It hasn't been his day, and Bailey is being helped off the ground. They can ill afford to lose that, lose him ahead of a first semi-final next week.
Especially against a side that they haven't had a good record against in recent times.
And who are on fire after a big win yesterday, Pines.
Oh, they were good yesterday.
In the centre of the ground, Gill ran off. That's a throw, and the umpire is on the right side to see that.
Geez, they just come up so hard at them carrying the footy and lay tackles. It's been a great quarter.
Just before we go to a break, Dunny, you saw that the one where the ball was knocked out of the hands there by Bennett down there. Now the Edithvale player who had the ball went to play on, and then the other Edithvale player in Cleary went straight.
But yeah, interesting. Let's see how Macca and Trent go this quarter if they can create those inside 50s.
Williams and Vassallo have gone forward as well. Tyrrell's down there, so there's plenty of experience if they can get it to them. Bonbeach out of the centre. Bennett got beaten for it. Steve Mannix picked up the loose ball, goes towards half forward. Meehan battling hard for it, wins the contest. Got a hand pass through traffic. Bright sun shining off the bay, blinding us in the commentary box. Trying to break through was Casey, and he just has not been able to get any clear possessions. I believe he's getting his hands on the ball, but he's being tackled almost immediately every time and hasn't been able to do anything effective. Ball back into play. Front spot, Wiley had an air swing. Casey, there it is once again. If you're watching on the live stream, as soon as he gathered the football, he was tackled by 2 Eagles. So another ball up again. Jones over the top this time. Slapped on by I'll get the name in a minute. Ferraro. Up towards half forward it goes. A bad bounce. Ends up favouring Williams, who hooks it around the corner looking for Dennis Lane, who did enough to get the ball to ground. Swung out of one tackle. Hand pass back to Vassallo, who had to stop and go back. Grabbed by Van Dyke, and he clears for the Eagles, but only as far as Carpenter.
who switches towards centre half forward. The mark has been taken there by Bennett, too far out to score. Even on a dry day, even with a gale blowing, he's 75 metres out from goal. He goes towards the pocket. He's looking there for Shane McDonald, who was held like a glove there just to stop him from going for that marking contest. Still out towards the boundary line goes the ball and over for a boundary throw in. So 2 minutes played in the last quarter. The Mornington Peninsula Brewery scoreboard, it's Edithvale by 36 points and looking very, very likely to be playing next week. And Cappy will be here watching, I'm sure, watching his opponents. Of course, the last time they played, Edithvale did beat YCW, and in the second half of the year they've had a fantastic run. They came from, I think, 6, probably around 10 or 11, Dunny, I think. And they've worked their way into a double chance position. Quite an amazing second half of the year. They are the form side right now.
Oh, they've been fantastic, yeah. I don't know how many in a row it is that they've won, but it'd be quite a few, and they'll be a big threat to YC next week, the way they're playing here.
One down by Wiley once more. Neville is caught, and the umpire calls for a ball up. AFL Richmond 9-4-58, leading St Kilda 3-3-21. Earlier today, Essendon beat Fremantle by 15 points. Trying to go through was Jones. His handball went straight back into traffic. And another ball up will be the result. First goal of the last quarter at Bunguyan Reserve has gone to Hastings. And it was James Marasco who made it a 41-point game over there.
Liam Harris, he caught between two Bonbeach players, just put his head straight over it. That's what you want. You want, at this stage of the game, even though you're 6 up, someone to put their head in a hole like that was really good.
They lost in round 7, Edithvale, to Seaford by 31 points, and the only loss they've had since then was a 47-point loss to Mount Liza in round 11, so they've won 11 of their last 12, and this will be 12 out of 13.
And that form's standing up, isn't it?
8 in a row.
They have been outstanding. Walker went through his hands, picked up here for the Sharks. Bennett dispossessed, came to Clark, who's been pretty good in the middle of the ground, kicks towards half forward. Oh, with pace, look at that. Darcy Walk kicks inside 50, just through the hands it goes of Tag, and we get another ball up. We know that Walk is quick, but he certainly showed it there, Dunny.
Yeah, they've done it without their little forward, Willie Favell. I'd be interested to find out from the Eddie guys what was wrong with him, because he's been a real danger player. So I'd say he'd be injured. But, yeah, Walk, another one of those little players that just covers the ground really well. Well, here they go again.
Harris in short, looking there for a teammate at half forward. The mark, dropped there on that occasion. Still a chance. Maguire has started the game so well. Elliot Maguire's going to be downfield. That is going to be downfield, and that is going to be an absolute, make it a sure thing for a goal for Edithvale.
Is it downfield? Or
the umpire signalled that way, so he signalled that way, so it's going to be a downfield free kick.
I actually didn't think it was late, but it's another gift for Mick Meehan, who hasn't had a great day. He's going to have 2 easy goals.
This is probably only his 3rd touch of the day, but as Johnny just said, this will be his 2nd goal. And has put it through for a goal. So Edithvale 11-6-72 at the 5-minute mark of the last quarter. Bonbeach a 4 goals, 6:30. That's on the Mornington Peninsula Brewery scoreboard. You're listening to RPP, the voice of Peninsula football.
Sponsoring the footy finals, David Barker Appliances in Rosebud, where top brands cost you less. Giving 27 years of trusted local service, David Barker Appliances, more local than the footy. Check the David Barker website, 1263 Boyd Nepean Road, Rosebud, 5986 5544.
Wild man Mannix is back on the ground. Again, even with the game safely in their keeping, he's still in there and not worried about any knock or resting himself up for next week. So the margin is 42 points in favour of the Eagles. Quick kick out of the centre again from Steve Mannix. Goes towards half forward. Picked up by Bennett for the Sharks, who stepped around one and then kicked a shocking wobbling kick into the centre of the ground. Good handball came up to the advantage of Sykes from Ferrero in towards the middle of the ground. Wiley again just shrugged off one tackle and then lost the ball to Jones, who handballed into the... Oh! Williams has been absolutely coat-hangered there. I don't think it's real malicious, but he's just got him around the neck and turned him inside out. You see moves like that in the WWE ring.
Big hit from Mark Mullins, that one.
That was a very apt description, Johnny. You hit the nail right on the head there.
The old JBL clothesline from hell.
When your legs go higher than your head, you know you're in trouble.
He'll take some time to regain his composure before he goes back and takes this kick from 45 metres out.
They had the loose man created because they had a player run into the goal square on their own, and at least what this does, at least it makes them earn the goal if they're going to kick it, because he's kicking from 45.
Williams will pass, and well, somehow Tyrrell found space in the middle of all that. There was a big opening in the middle, and Tyrrell just jogged into it untouched, and the only person that saw him was Williams. So Tyrrell from 40 metres out, directly in front, shouldn't have a problem. He's hooked it badly, and that is the story of the day. A second miss for Mark Tyrrell. Bonbeach 4-7-31, Edithvale-Asp 11-6-72, 7.5 minutes final quarter for the Mornington Peninsula Brewery.
Just going to come along out this side now and outnumber at this contest. Oh,
Buzzy goes up. It's like Spring Hill, Jack, you're right there, Dunny. He can certainly jump, this boy.
he's a super athlete.
No, what age is him? Just look at the record. He's 24. He sort of got the real young sort of face on him. As the kick goes out towards the centre wing, walk off the ground, kick just to gain 15 metres, and they have just played these conditions very, very well today, Edithvale-Aspendale. And they are a dangerous side. As we mentioned, this will be 12 out of 13 for them if they win, or if they win when they win this game today. 41 points is the margin.
And they do, listening to the results that you've suggested, the run that they're on, they do have YCW's scalp in the second half of the year.
And that was at YCW too. YCW actually lost 2 games at home this year, and I don't reckon they've lost 2 games at home for 7 years, but they've lost 2 in one year, and one was to Bonbeach, one was to Edithvale.
So Yates and his men will be confident of being able to get over top of them next week.
They played them in round 10, yeah, beat them there. So they should be confident, don't they?
Yeah,
They
they've
play
proved
this sort of footy.
they're playing on a slow deck today, but I reckon they'd be just as dangerous on a fast deck if the weather improves during the week.
When you look at this, it'll take a lot of work to get this up from a slow to a good by next week, because it is being chopped up pretty solidly by 2 days of football. It's still in pretty reasonable condition considering, as Jones won the tap down, trying to barge through. There's a high tackle being picked here. Could have been a free kick to dispossessing for Tyrrell first, but it'll go to Flannery. So Jacob Flannery has it just on the defensive side of the wing. Tyrrell wants it in the middle. That's ignored, and he kicks it straight to Tim Mannix, who was spoiled by his teammate in the end. And the pack converges over top of this, and we'll have another ball up. So right in front of our broadcast position, 41 points the margin in favour of Edithvale-Aspendale. Jones jumps over the top and won it down. Vassallo grabbed without the football, seen. He gets the free kick.
Just great the way they set up by the Edithvale. Dermot Cleary just sitting 10 off the back of that stoppage again. Wiley's already rolled down, so it's going to have to be a great kick.
And it is. It is an absolute lace-out bullet that finds Dennis Lane.
He led between 3 of them then, John, and found the footy. Great kick.
Yeah. 3 defenders never stood a chance, and Dennis Lane is capable of this. He decides to go with the centering kick across the other side and was beautifully weighted. And the mark has been taken for the Sharks by, is it Gil Renoff? I think it's Lockie Gil Renoff who has it. And he can line up from 35 metres out directly in front. 2 brilliant kicks. Make that 3 in a row, and that's the best passage of play of the day for Bonbeach. Gil Renoff kicks the goal, and the Sharks go to 5-7-37. Edithvale-Aspendale 11-6-72 on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. You're listening to RPP, the voice of Peninsula Footy.
Mornington Peninsula Brewery love football as much as they love making world-class beer. That's why they're the sponsors of local footy. This season, treat yourself to a round of beer and a pizza at the Brewery Bar. Mornington Peninsula Brewery, 72 Watt Road, Mornington.
Just having a look at the fixture, and it says that the game would be next Sunday between these two sides, but I'm sure it's supposed to be Saturday. But more about that after the game.
Chelsea have got the Saturday game next week, so, and I believe that's the first semi.
Well, so
they're keeping the top team playing Sunday right through. The higher ranked teams playing Sundays right through the finals, because the grand finals are Sunday, isn't it?
Okay, so that being the case, so the PN final will be here next Saturday. Okay. Yep. So margin here is 35 points. We're 12 minutes into the last quarter, as Edithvale just clearing the ball on that occasion through Cleary, getting the hand pass over towards Ray. He goes in short. And the mark has been taken there, just sliding into the ball there by Tyrrell. Poor kick by Mark Tyrrell, he's better than that. But the ball did bounce away from the Edithvale-Aspendale defence. Good tackle applied, and the umpire says, I'm going to ball it up at right half forward here for Bonbeach. Cast straight into the ground. But Edithvale leading on the scoreboard. 11-6-72, Bonbeach 5-7-37 on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard.
Hastings by 33 points at Bunguyan Reserve as Williams got it through to Sykes to Tyrrell. Threw it on the boot and kicks up towards half forward. Back with the flight, Gil ran off. It was judged better by Cleary. He gets across and marks for the Eagles. Dermot Cleary just inside defensive 50. Goes long to the Brian Mace grandstand wing. Through the hands it goes of Tyrrell, and away they go again. Steve Mannix kicks towards half forward. Oh, great stretch and mark by Tag. He's got a good pair of hands. Chips over the top. Mannix has run on. He gets called out of it by Clark, and Matt Clark takes the mark. 35 metres out, 45-degree angle, and can get the quick reply for Edie Asp.
He had a man right on his ginger there, Tag, and that was just a really good one-grab mark, Dunny.
Yeah, but Steve Mannix, he's had a pretty good game, both Mannix boys, but just their willingness to keep running, really, really strong running side now.
Clark hooks it, and he hooks it very badly out of bounds on the full, so no addition to the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard.
What you were saying before about the higher ranked team playing next, if that's the case, next Sunday here, the YCW Edithvale second semi-final, so the loser of that plays the winner on a day's less break.
Will that be a Saturday or will that be a Sunday as well, the following
either
week,
way,
preliminary final day?
It's a day less break though, isn't it? Whichever way you look at it.
Yeah.
But I suppose you can't please everyone all of the time, can you?
So
It says 7 days is 7 days. You can't complain with that.
possible for Pines to, if they win next week, to have had the bigger advantage going into all their finals.
Yeah, it is an interesting scheduling, and it's certainly different to the norm. But I suppose we'll find out what they all think about it when it's all over. As Mullins drops the mark that he probably should have taken. Hand pass out gives Dennis Lane a chance to go for a gallop. He tries to put it out into open space and bounce it through, but he's off target, and it's going to trickle over the line. Great running by Gil Renoff to almost get there, but not a bad result in the end. If Dennis Lane decided he couldn't kick the distance, he's put it out of bounds beside the behind post and gets them a chance to have a set play.
It's opened up a little bit now, as you'd expect. Halfway through the last quarter, both sides are starting to get into the inside 50s.
So, quick kick out of defence there by Clark out towards half back and going back with the flight of the ball there and taking the mark there for Bonbeach. A quick kick towards the half forward line, but there Hogan, who just really hasn't been in it at all today. Big Hogan, that's for sure. Quick kick towards Meehan and Douglas, who are a long way down from where they should be at their normal pace.
They're out the back here with Tag.
There's a chance now, Tag. He's got the ball, and now he can stop and he can go back, and he's still got a man loose at half forward, but he's deciding to kick from the centre of the ground.
Mickey Meehan.
He goes long out towards half forward, going up but not taking the mark there. Ball at attacking 50, and the umpire says, I'm going to ball it up. So on the Rye Hotel scoreboard, it's Edithvale by 35 points, 16 minutes played in the last quarter.
Probably could have done a bit more there, but I can see that they're pretty tired right across the park now.
So Rucks to go at it. One down over the top by Tom Hogan, trying to work his way through his soul. Got a kick away for the Sharks, out to open space to set up a foot race. He's kicked it too hard and finds the boundary line. And it's over for a throw-in. He's got some pace too, Gil Renoff. He almost won that battle. But Ray wasn't that far behind him. So boundary throw-in right in front of the Bonbeach interchange bench. It's good to see they've put a second bench up over on this broadcast side of the ground too. It was tough last year when they were on opposite sides of the oval. And it's over again for a boundary throw-in.
We played Coringal here and we were on opposite sides of the oval, and we planned our rotations with their rotations before the game, and the guys have come out just before the bounce and said to me, you're going to have to fix that because we can't see over the other side of the ground.
Yeah, exactly. It was very tough to follow last year in the final series. Good to see they've rectified it here, as Casey is once again manhandled as soon as he got his hands on the football. And that is obviously something that Graham Yates has put a fair bit of time into, to not give Casey that space to create and develop off halfback, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's been tackled a lot, hasn't he? He'd be pretty sore.
Tim Mannix kicks, it's touched off the boot and out of bounds. And yet he'll have a few bumps and bruises, and not much to show for it, as Clark has a few words with McDonald, and a little bit of a lack of respect that I would have thought.
Now, Dunny,
rub on the top of the head.
You said before, Buzzy played round 1 against you, and then he came back against you.
Yep.
So this will be game 7 or 8 with him in the side. They haven't lost with him in the side.
This is number 8.
No, yeah, it's... I don't know. Well, Macker and Clark are going at it here.
And
he just brings that extra ruckman, which, I've talked a lot about Wiley. He's a ripper, but having Buzzy as that extra option is really good for them.
Trowell got a free kick and sent it up towards half forward. Vassallo left it behind. Bennett can't keep it in.
That's a good thing about getting someone like Graham Yates as coach. He's sort of been able to pick these guys, and he knows that they can play them.
A bit frustrated now. Bennett and Tim Mannix having a bit to go on with. The boundary umpire just hurls it back into play.
Certainly does, and the players there just getting a little bit loose, the players at this stage, getting towards the end of the game, and obviously the results pretty clear cut on the scoreboard with Edithvale by 35 points.
They both have a game next week, so they can't do anything stupid.
Oh, there's plenty more fish to be fried yet in this final series. Don't worry about that. As the kick goes high there by Mannix. Steve it was towards centre wing. Ball still on the ground. And the Bonbeach player there and Casey getting in there and getting the ball out. Now a chance now for Bonbeach to go forward, and they do through Douglas towards half forward, but as has been the case most of the day, ineffective use of the ball. The mark has been taken by Woodbridge. Who says he needs Mark Woodford to be a good player out there? He's had a good solid game himself out there this afternoon. And 19 and a half minutes in the last quarter. Edithvale very, very happy. 35-point lead on the Telstra Store of Mornington Rosebud scoreboard.
Playing singles off half-back, you reckon, Fossey?
Something like that, yeah. No, he's had a good game.
He has had a really good game.
Cleary sends it long towards half forward. Little hand pass came through on the turnover. Sykes kicks up to half forward. Running hard to provide the option is Jean-Paul Knight. Hasn't seen much of him today. He kicks towards centre half forward. Sol drops a chest mark. And Jones had to do the roving. It's a long way down to ground level from nearly 200 centimetres.
But guess what? Edithvale forced another stoppage just on the back of a Bonbeach mistake.
It's been completely played exactly how Edithvale-Aspendale would have wanted it today. Angus Maguire brought it out towards the half-back line. Running onto it is Trowell, but he lost his footing in a cramp, I believe. Tim Mannix has picked it up. Hand pass over the top. Running hard to provide the option for him was Walk. Kicks towards half forward. Bouncing ball. Bussey gets there first. Throws it on the boot. How will this ball bounce? I think it's going to hold up on the line. Getting back there first. And eventually getting it across was Douglas for a rush behind. But a good passage of play that for Edithvale-Aspendale. They're 11-7-73. Bonbeach 5-7-37. Nearly 21 minutes gone. Final quarter for the Telstra Stores of Mornington and Rosebud.
Yep, it's going to be a good win for Edithvale, and
great mark.
YCW will be their opponents here next week, and they'll be here watching, they'll be here scouting, all that sort of stuff. Clark couldn't take the mark there for Edithvale. Hand pass comes out, ball still inside the Edithvale attacking 50. Quick kick forward there towards the top of the goal scorer, though. Bounces away from that. A chance now for Bonbeach to pick up the ball there through Sykes, who goes down the line towards his teammate there in Big DJ. Dylan Jones takes the mark. So Jones it is, switches play towards the centre of the ground, and McDonald not in that contest at all. Clark went in short and just gives a couple of words there to Shane McDonald, who realises that it's all to no avail. But Jeremy Hayes with the ball for Edithvale, who will go back from 50 metres. He's too far out to score, surely. He goes in towards the pocket, and the mark has been taken there in the forward pocket. And it has been taken by...
Walker, I reckon. Yep.
It is Darcy Walk who
He's
will
had a
go
good
back.
day. Had a good day.
He's bobbed up from time to time, hasn't he, and been lively.
I think Liam Harris, again, he had another possession out on the wing there. He's been really good too, considering how Bo Bailey and Jack Williams started the game.
Martello a bit sore as he comes off the ground. Walk, kicks, and just pushes it across the face. It stays in play. Neville couldn't pick it up. Tackle converges, and we'll have a ball up near the top of the goal square. So, late scoring opportunity. We're into time on of the final quarter. The Eagles have been very professional today and far too good for Bonbeach. Only one of us up here in the RPP commentary box picked it. Dunny, well done.
Yeah, I don't know if it's well done, but they've certainly played the way that I expected them to play. And
long flying shot on goal from Ray goes across the face and out of bounds for a throw in.
They've got the momentum, haven't they? Like they're winning.
Well, I wasn't aware they were on an 8-match winning streak.
Yeah, you can see they're playing for each other. They have really good understanding of what they're trying to do. A bit like the Swannies.
Their system and their game plan is very hard to break down, and Bonbeach haven't even been in the ballpark today as a throw is picked out here, and a free kick to the Sharks will be taken at the back there.
Cappy will be looking
That's
at
Carpenter, is it?
Cappy will be looking at Edithvale. He'll be looking at first look at obviously Buzzy play in terms of YCW playing them next week. Obviously he hasn't played against them so far this year, so he'd be sort of racking his brain, because it's a 200 centimetre player that can run like him. Dunny is a unique proposition.
Yeah, but they got BJ Credland who can play down there, and Ongarello. So I know Ongarello will be a bit undersized, but they are really strong defenders. So I'd expect that they'd be able to cover, but they're certainly going to. They're going to make Hutchie and Scotty McLeod work really hard around the stoppages if they keep playing like this.
Tyrrell takes it out of the contest, received the handball, went towards half forward. Vassallo is caught and he threw it, said the umpire. So a free kick quickly taken and they're away. Hayes had to stop and size up his options. Kicks to half forward. Very good mark taken there by Bussy. And he has a shot on goal. So he's very confident from long range here, Michael Bussy. We've seen he can jump and mark. We've seen he can win hit-outs. He can run. Can he kick 55 metres in the dying stages of a qualifying final? This will really show whether he's a complete player. He's given it a pretty good ride. It's going right to the line and just off target and through for a behind, but a really good effort to get the distance late in the game. 1-1 he's kicked.
So Wiley and Jones haven't rucked much after the first 10 minutes of this quarter. Obviously both on ice for a little bit.
Rest them up for another challenge to come next week.
Wiley's on now, but sitting back behind. You let Mick Meehan go for this. No, Meehan's not there.
Hastings 12.880 leading Red Hill 5.10.40, so it's all over bar the shouting at Bunguyan Reserve.
Bangladesh 3 for 97 in the cricket.
After being 3 for about 6, so a good fight back for the Tigers against Australia in the first test. As it's toe poke forward by Buzzy towards the top of the goal square. At the back, Neville picked up the loose ball, strolled in and banged it home for the exclamation mark. Brendan Neville gets his first.
That tops off a good game for him.
He's been quite tidy as well. The margin blows out now to 37 or 43 points it is. Edithvale-Aspendale 12.880. Bonbeach 5.737 on the Telstra stores of Mornington and Rosebud scoreboard. 26 minutes gone in the final term.
It's a very, very sweet cake they're going to be having. And just looking at their goal kicking this afternoon, they've only scored their 12 goals as a winning score, but 9 individual goal kickers.
Yep, and that's been, if you go back through, that's been a lot of their way for quite some time now. They've got Maguire boys are always going to bob up. Obviously, you got Meehan and Bussy, so, and then their midfielders Neville and Mannix always get a goal. So yeah, they've been really, really good in that area for many, many weeks.
Yeah, and they are a side in form, as we keep saying. Steve Mannix, lucks of fortune there. It bounced off someone's head, and then it came back to Clark, who kicked it forward. But as it is, Bonbeach now go forward towards half forward.
Great spot.
And good defensive pressure over the back there by Edithvale through. Is that Carlin?
Nick Carlin, amazing, like a big spoil and then a tackle over the boundary line. 28.5 minutes or 26.5 minutes gone, and they're still going as hard as when they started.
They're very happy with on the bench there. Just a couple of high fives there down there, the Edithvale bench. Very happy with the way things are going for them and all the form that they are in right now. As I said, it's my first opportunity to see them live this year, and they've been very, very impressive. As a throw up by the umpire once again. It goes forward towards inside attacking 50. Casey trying to run onto the ball, but was worried out of it there by Ray. Ball towards the boundary line has gone over for a boundary throw in. 27.5 gone in the last quarter.
So Bonbeach go to Chelsea next week against the Pines, so that'll be a pretty physical game on a much smaller deck. Maybe that'll suit Bonbeach a bit more. I don't know. They've certainly been outclassed here, but they've been probably outmuscled as well.
Boundary throw in. One down for Carpenter, who threw it on the boot towards half forward. Knocked out of the contest, Dennis Lane. All class as the siren sounds. He kicks a late one for the Sharks. He just got rid of Van Dyke, picked up the loose ball. It came all too late, Dennis Lane. He finishes with 3, but all it does is it shortens the final margin to 37 points. Edithvale-Aspendale 12-8-80 have beaten Bonbeach 6-7-43 in the qualifying final for season 2017. They will go through the Eagles, as mentioned plenty of times, and play Frankston YCW here next week. Bonbeach must regroup to take on their bogey team Pines in a sudden death first semi, which is exactly how their season ended last year.
We'll come back and wrap things up here from Frankston. You are listening to RPP, the voice of Peninsula football.